Hey there, it is Anna Runyon. I am the founder and CEO of ClassyCareerGirl.com. Super excited to welcome you all today to our membership site secrets training. I'm going to teach you how to turn your passion into recurring revenue. We have so much stuff coming for you. I'm going to teach you how to create content for your membership site, how to build your audience, how to even know if a membership site is right for you. We're going to cover so much today. And at the end, we're going to have a surprise guest joining me too. So we are here for you. We're going to be answering your questions too. So I would love to know, first of all, if you are here, could you just say in the comments below? We've had a lot of you guys say in, and that just like helps me know who is here with me today. I love seeing your names, loving getting to know you guys. And also, I would love to know, do you want to start a membership site? Like, if you could just write in the comments, yes, maybe, not sure, that helps me know where you're at as well. And that will help me answer your questions and kind of guide you along. Really, what this is it's a training course. Like, I consolidated these training modules that I prepared and put them all together. So you're going to be able to binge watch all this content. You're going to get so much good stuff today. So thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for making your goals a priority today. So I'm super proud of you guys for being here. If you have a question, just put question in big caps, and that way it will pop out, because we already have, if you guys haven't noticed, there's so many comments already coming in. So many of you guys. Hi, Krista. Hi, Krithana. Hi, Gianna. Hi, Phaedra. So excited to see you guys. There's so many comments coming in. And so I want to make sure that I get to your questions and I answer your questions. I've been running membership sites for 5 years. And so I have a lot to share with you and would love to share with you. So if you have a question about starting a membership, about growing a membership, about creating content for a membership, any of that, just write question in all caps, and that way it'll pop out at me, because as we're going today, I'm gonna have time to answer your questions. So really, I know that there are a lot of people struggling with their finances right now. A lot of small businesses have had to close. Struggling with finances, I've definitely been there. Not enough cash in the bank, struggling to pay my bills, trying to support my family with this business. But in 2016, I did something that turned everything around. So I had been blogging, I had been trying to, make this business grow. And 2016 was like my pivotal year where everything completely changed. I did something that allowed me to generate income every single month. Hint, it's the title of today's topic. It's what we're going to talk about today: generating income every single month, no matter what. Super nice. It also allowed me to take maternity leave. When I had my second daughter in 2018, I took a 3-month maternity leave and I did not lose a penny. I still had that recurring revenue coming in. And today, as we're going through this uncertain time in our economy and our health crisis with the COVID-19, it's also something that's really allowed me to still continue this steady stream of income and keep having it flowing, growing even during COVID-19. And so that's why I'm super excited about this topic. It's a topic I could talk about for days and hours, because I'm so thankful that in 2016, I decided to start a membership site. I decided to learn from my mentor, who you're going to meet later. My surprise guest is going to be joining us later. Super excited that I decided to take his free workshop, which I'm going to tell you about. Starts on April 23rd. Super excited to tell you, because it's coming up and it changed my life and it changed my business. And I'm so thankful that in 2016, I made this decision. So just want you guys to know, your income doesn't have to suffer right now. You can generate more income this year in 2020 than ever before. And you can turn your passion into a business you love. We can teach you everything that I know so that you can have more freedom, more time to do what you love, so you no longer have to rely on a boss or the government to give you money any longer. And so let's dive in and let's start talking about this. Awesome. Some of you guys are already talking about how you want to create a membership. So Phaedra is already doing one. Awesome. I love it. So yeah, like I said in the beginning, let me know if you are here, if you're watching. Let me know if you want to start a membership. Maybe you have a question. If you have a question, just write question in capitals, and that way that will allow me to find your questions because we have so many comments coming in too. So let's dive in to what we're going to be covering today. This is kind of like a training course that we're going to talk about today. And so what's going to happen is we're going to go through these modules. And so our first module, we're going to talk about how to turn your passion into recurring revenue. After trying out multiple business models, I have a favorite when it comes to career fulfillment and profitability. And I'm going to be sharing that today. Module 2, we're going to be talking about the secret to creating content for your membership site, because all of us, we need to be focused on being our best in our businesses, in our careers. And so I will be sharing with you how I got off the content hamster wheel, because I have been there. And I know that's one of the biggest fears people have about creating a membership site, is that content that you have to keep creating. I'm also going to share my biggest failure as a business owner. That's coming up in module 2. And then module 3, we're going to talk about building an audience for a membership site. So I'll be sharing how you can grow your audience online, what I have learned from building a platform with millions of readers. So you're going to learn what social media platform I'm focusing on and 3 steps to take if you want to grow your audience online. And then kind of like our 4th module, we're going to talk about, is a membership site right for you? And today I'll be coming clean, and over these modules, you're going to hear I'm sharing a ton of secrets that I have learned over these last 5 years of starting and growing a membership site. But I have a secret. And if you're on the fence, you're definitely going to want to stay till the end, because this could really change your career and your life, just like it did for me with my surprise guest that I'm going to share with you. And then all the way through today, we're going to have Q&A. We're going to have plenty of time for Q&A with me to answer any question. There is no dumb question. So if you have a question about membership sites, about recurring revenue, about growing your audience, creating your content, figuring out how to turn your passion into recurring revenue, anything, please post it. Please just put comments in all caps, and that way I will be able to see it. So let's dive in. Hi, Angela. Hi, Josie. So good to see you. Gianna says, yes, I am ready. I'm taking the workshop. Oh, you are already sharing the work. She's already signed up for April 23rd, which I'm going to be telling you guys about at the end. Gianna's starting to ruin my surprise to you guys. Okay, so let's dive into module 1. These are actually videos that I've pre-recorded that I'm going to be sharing with you. So module 1 is about how to turn your passion into recurring revenue. So we're going to talk about how to create a business around your passion. And after trying out multiple business models, I have a favorite. I'm sharing that in this video today. And so for me, it all comes back to career fulfillment for all women. That's really what I'm really passionate about. So before we start talking about how awesome membership sites are for recurring revenue and profitability and all that stuff, we have to really make sure first that we're going to create the membership site that's right for us. So let's dive in. I am going to start our first video in our course and share my screen with you guys, and we will get started. Here is turning your passion into recurring revenue. Hey, it's Anna Runyon, founder and CEO of Classy Career Girl, and welcome to our Membership Site Secrets Masterclass. For the next 3 weeks, I'm going to teach you how to turn your passion into recurring revenue, how to start a membership site, and all of the secrets and the tips I have learned from running membership sites for the last 5 years. Now, first, I want to tell you why I decided to start a membership site 5 years ago. The reason I decided to start was I was doing a lot of individual coaching. I was a career coach, I was helping women with their job search, with their resumes, with their interviewing. I was doing a ton of one on one coaching. Now, I loved being able to work one on one to make that kind of impact, but I tell you, I was getting burnt out doing so much one on one work. And that's when I realized that there had to be a way where I could leverage my time better. I was about to have my first daughter and I needed more time. I needed more time to spend with her. I needed more freedom to be able to handle my life as a working mom. But then also, I wanted to love my job more. I wanted to love what I was doing because I started a business so that I could create a career I love. And as you guys know, if you've been following Classy Career Girl, you know our mission is career fulfillment for all women. And so that's why it's even more important for me to be loving my job all the time and to be asking myself, is there something I can change? Is there something I can do so that I can love my career more? And so I was asking myself that. And that's when I realized the things that I love doing the most was the teaching, the training, Q&A, building communities, and less of doing the one-on-one work. And so I would challenge you, if you want to know how to turn your passion into recurring revenue, I would really challenge you to think first, what is your passion? A lot of people will talk about the recurring revenue and the money that comes with membership sites, and it does. And that can decrease your stress and be great for your bottom line. But first, I want to go back to passion. I want you to think about what your passion is because there are so many people who are creating membership sites around their passion. And so that's why it's so important for you to think about what could you do for hours and hours and hours and not get bored. What are the tasks that you're doing right now in your career or in your business that give you more energy? Like you get done with them and you are so excited. For me, one of them is taking photos. I am not a photographer. I have never taken a photography class in my life. But lately, that's one thing that's been giving me energy in my business is this challenge of learning how to create better photos for my business and for Instagram and learning how to edit those photos. And I just get so excited when I see a photo that I have created. And it's almost like this, wow, I did that. Those are the type of tasks right now that give me more energy. So think about those tasks that give you more energy and then think about those tasks that are draining you. And that was like a lot of the one-on-one calls that I was doing, though that was work that was draining me. And that was how I knew that I could take this passion, this thing that I loved doing, this teaching, this training about this one topic of career and job search and career change and turn that into a membership site. So that is the first place to start is really figuring out what your passion is. I will tell you there are so many membership sites out there based off a passion. It is the very first place that you need to start is doing that self-assessment, figuring out what are those things that you really, really enjoy doing. And then next week, when I come out with my next video, we can talk about how to actually turn that into a membership site. So, right now, if you know what your passion is, awesome. I would love to hear in the comments below what your passion is. Like, what do you want to create a membership site out of? Like, if you could do something for hours and hours and hours, what would that be? What would you want to create a membership site around? So, when you know what your passion is and you're excited about turning that passion into a membership site, well, then you're still going to have a problem of how do you actually create this membership site? How do you create content without going crazy on the content hamster wheel? Well, that's what I'm going to cover in next week's video of our membership site secrets masterclass. So before we go, make sure that you join us in our Facebook group. We have a special pop-up Facebook group right now where we're talking about all things membership sites and I'm answering questions and diving in there. So make sure you join our membership site secrets private Facebook group. And also make sure you download our free membership guide. So I created a guide that has 6 secrets to a successful membership site that goes way more in detail about the 6 things I've done to really have success as a membership site owner. So go download the guide and join us in the Facebook group, and I will see you there. All right. So we are back. Hey guys. We are getting a lot of questions. That was just module 1. So that was the section where we talked about how to turn your passion into recurring revenue. And if you missed it, I'm just going to summarize a couple things I talked about. What do you love doing most? Like, what could you do for hours and hours and hours and not get bored? Because one of the biggest things when you're starting a membership site is because it's recurring. We're going to keep doing this month after month. So your membership site is going to grow, your income is going to grow, but you have to love what you're talking about because you're going to keep doing this month after month. That's why I've been able to do it for 5 years, because I love talking about careers and job searching and starting a business and changing your work and finding your passion. Like, those are things I love talking about. And I could do that for hours and hours and not get bored. And so when I started my blog in 2011, that was what I blogged about. So I've been doing this for 10 years about the same topic. So for me, this is the most crucial part because I don't want anyone to start a membership and after a year get sick and bored of it. And there's ways that you can change kind of the structure of your membership to make it more fulfilling for yourself. And we'll talk about that in module 2 when we go to the next module. So we're going to be talking about how to create content for your membership. And that can always be restructured and changed. But the actual what you're passionate about, what you're excited about giving to people on a monthly basis, it's really important that you really love doing that. So that was one thing I wanted to highlight. And then if you currently are a business owner, it's really important to evaluate, like, what are the things in your day that gives you energy and what are those things that drain you? Even if you're not currently a business owner and you're just thinking about this topic of starting a membership site, it's really important to evaluate, like spend a couple minutes and write down all the things you currently love in your job right now, in your career right now, in your business right now. What are those things that you love doing? If you can't tell, this is one of the things I love doing is teaching and training. And so I knew that when I started a membership, I needed to make sure the things I love doing, like teaching and training, are included in my membership site because that's something that I really, really enjoy doing. Now, other people may not enjoy teaching and training, and there's plenty of other opportunities to create some sort of membership or subscription that has nothing to do with teaching and training. And my special guest who's going to be joining me very soon here, he is going to be sharing stories from all kinds of different business owners who have created subscriptions and recurring revenue in our business and are growing right now. That is the biggest thing. I'm excited to ask him because businesses are growing that have that recurring, that steady income right now. So it is possible to grow your business even during these uncertain times that we're in right now. I got to give a shout out to all you guys. I got to give a shout out. We got Angela here. Hi, Angela. We got Josie here. So good to see you guys. Okay, and we have questions that are now coming in. So thank you guys for submitting your questions because that makes this training class so much more real and helpful for all of you guys. Because when one person has a question, usually other people have the question too. So before we get started talking about creating content, I'm going to have an opportunity to answer your questions. So if you have a question, just write question in caps so that I can see because we have so many comments that are coming in. So that way I'll be able to grab your question. And Yale, hello. Yale is actually one of our members in our class membership site. And she has a great question. She says, is it better to have a broad topic or a very niche topic for your online course? So, yeah, this is what I would recommend because you're asking about an online course. I think it's really important that when you create an online course, there is a specific thing that people are going to get by the end of that online course. So, for example, I used to have a course about resume makeover, a resume makeover class, and basically what that did is from the start of that course to the end of the course, they'd be able to leave with that resume done. Like there's a specific, tangible, very niche thing that course taught them to do. And I think that's very important that there's a result at the end. Now, when you're talking about a membership, people join a membership because they need a problem solved month after month. So they're going to go through and you're going to support them and help them go through your path to success. And so it can be broader. That's my point. For a membership site, your content can be a little bit broader, your result can be a little bit broader, because every month you're providing something new. So, for example, my membership, our class membership, is all about careers and businesses. So it's very broad topic, and so every month we have content that is unique and is different. There's always an issue and a problem that people have with their careers and their businesses, and so we help them solve that month after month after month. Now, I would never be able to do like a 6-week course just on this huge thing, right? Like, this is something I've been talking about for 5 years, so it's perfect for that membership, because I have members who've been with me for like over 3 years, which is incredible to watch them grow and to support them and to help them solve their problems, because there's always a new problem month after month. Now, the online course, like I talked about with that resume, there's a start and there's an end. And then here's a secret for you, y'all. You can start a membership after that course. So a great example is that resume makeover class that I was talking about, right? Like, I help them with their resume, but when they are done with their resume, do they have a new job? No. Then they need help taking that resume and then go finding a job, and they need help applying, and they need help interviewing and negotiating their salary, and actually maybe they want to start a business, so then they need help starting a business. And so there's so many other ways that you can support and help people on a monthly basis through a membership. So my guest that will be coming later, I'm sure we can ask, that's one of the questions I have set to ask him, is course or membership. And really, they work really, really well together. So I have a course. My signature course is my plan course, where I help people create their 90-day plan. And then I have a membership, and that helps them and supports them every single month. So I get to meet with them and support them and coach them. I actually have a coaching call right after this with our class membership. So yeah, we can dive deeper into your question on our coaching call. But that's why I love memberships, is because it's not just a course and you're done after 5 or 6 weeks, but you get to do life with them. You get to, like, we have virtual coffee dates. We get to, like, we have accountability groups. This is long term, and this is where the benefit of a membership really comes into play. Is this doesn't have to end. You get to support your people long term. So yeah, the answer to my question for you is that short term, or for your online course, I would keep it very niche, very focused, so people know what that result is once they complete your course. And then I would invite them to join you to your membership after they complete your course. Because then they can get ongoing support from you on a monthly basis and figure out what that problem is that people have month after month after month. Oh, Pam, you're awesome. How awesome is Pam? She says, I'm from the Philippines and it's past 12 midnight, but I waited for this. Thank you, Pam. We love you. We love you. Thank you so much. Well, Pam, since you stayed up so late, please let me know if you have any questions so that we can support you and help you right now. Really appreciate you being here. Barbie is here too. Hey, Barbie, good to see you. The other thing, and I mentioned it in the video, is that we highly recommend that you also get my membership secrets guide. So that's going to take you a step further as far as creating your membership. And you can get that at classycareergirl.com/membership secrets. And someone on my team will make sure that we'll post that link in the comments. And that basically shares my 6 secrets to a successful membership. So that will help you after you watch today's training. That will help you just take it a step further. And then you'll be ready for April 23rd, which we have an exciting announcement because my mentor, Stu McLaren, he's going to be joining us here soon for our 4th training module. He has a workshop that's coming out on April 23rd. And what's awesome about this is this workshop basically changed my business and my life in 2016 when I take it. And I take it every single year. So this year, we're going to do a whole fun like discussion group about his workshop. And we're going to go through his workshop and we're going to discuss it together and support each other. So I'm super excited to share that with you guys. So let's move on to module number 2, which I know you guys really want. So this is about the secret to creating content in your membership. So I love creating content, but the stress of creating something new every day can really be overwhelming, especially when the stress makes all the great ideas disappear because I'm under pressure. That's when it's terrible to create content when you're under pressure. So I've been there and I've learned a lot about staying organized and efficient when it comes to creating content. All of us need to be focused on being our best as business owners. And that's why I created this video. So you're going to learn how to get off that content hamster wheel. And I'm also sharing my biggest failure as a business owner in this video. I'm sharing about my failure about my first membership. So you're going to learn how I failed, because failing is the fastest path to success, right? So I'm very grateful for that failure. And let's dive into module 2 of our course, and you'll get to see my biggest failure. Here we go. Okay. Oh, not that one. Hey everyone, it's Anna Runyon, founder and CEO of Classy Career Girl. Welcome back to our Membership Site Secrets Masterclass. In last week's episode, we talked about how to turn your passion into recurring revenue. And I walked you through some questions to help you figure out what your passion was. Because as you guys know, our mission here at Classy Career Girl is career fulfillment for all women. And in this week, we're exploring membership sites and how that can enable you to have a career that you love and to create a business that you love. And this week, I want to talk about how to create content for your membership site, because I know in your business, you probably want more time and you probably want more freedom. But when you're creating a membership site, you probably think that that is not going to allow you more time and freedom, because you're always going to be on this content hamster wheel. And I will tell you, I have had this same fear because I've lived it. I started a membership site in 2014, my very first membership site. It was called the Get Ahead Club. And I was on the content hamster wheel. And I actually had to end up closing that membership site before my daughter was born, because my daughter was about to be here, arrive any day. And I was on that content hamster wheel. I was struggling and majorly stressed. Every month before the next month, I was frantically trying to come up with the content for that membership site. I felt like I was never doing enough. I was never planned well ahead of time. And my membership numbers showed, because I had 50 members and I just stayed there. It was completely plateauing. So every month, some members would leave and some members would come. And I could not figure it out. And so I ended up having to close it. And it was kind of a failure at the time. But what I learned by closing that membership site, by failing, I learned so much that allowed me now to, a few years later, create 2 membership sites that are successful, that are growing. In 6 months, we went from 100 members to 500 members, just with some of these principles that I'm teaching you today and that are in our guide that you can download below. So it is possible. It doesn't have to stress you out. And I want to teach you today how I create content and the things that I've learned about creating content that I hope are going to help you too. And the first one is a big one. The first thing I learned is that if you're overwhelmed creating content, your members are overwhelmed too. This was huge for me because I thought that I had to give, and my members would stay the more I give. This is completely false. So if you're worried about how much content you have to create, you can create way less than you think you need to. And I have the numbers to prove it, because in one of my membership sites, Love Your Career Formula, for women who are going through career change and figuring out what their ideal career fit is, we discovered that when I decreased the Q&A sessions that we were having and I decreased the content that I was giving every week, our retention numbers increased. Amazing. Less work for me, and my retention numbers went up. So just know that you don't have to give so much. Less is more when it comes to a membership site. In addition, another thing I've learned is batching all the content ahead of time. So when you're not giving as much, you can create 3 to 6 months worth of content in a day or two rather than being on the hook every month to create next month's content. That is not what you want to do. You want to batch it as far as you can ahead of time and create as much content as you can in a focused 1 or 2 day period. And you can do that through interviewing other people. So you're not always on the hook. You could do it by creating videos and then transcribing those videos. There's a lot of different ways that you can create content in your membership site. But for today's video, I just want to decrease the stress that you probably have about creating a membership site and let you know that you don't need to be overwhelmed creating the content. Because if you're overwhelmed, your members are overwhelmed too. The other thing that is really important is creating a calendar for the year. And this is something I did not have. And not only does it help you to have a calendar, so a 12-month calendar, so you know all the content that's coming, but then you can give that to your members and they can see what's coming up. Now, if it's March and you tell them something really amazing is coming in September, do you think they'll be more likely to stay in your membership site? Yes. And what you'll quickly learn is that retention is everything. Retention is so much more important than launching and bringing in new members. You want to keep the members that you have happy and moving through the content in your membership site. So, creating that 12-month calendar is also key for your members and your retention numbers. And I want to give you one last secret to creating content for your membership site. You do not have to do this alone. You do not have to come up with all of the ideas for your membership site. Let your members tell you what they want and what they need. So if you're just starting a membership site and you're like, how the heck am I going to come up with all of this content? The whole benefit of having a membership site is you create the content around them. So I'm always surveying, I'm always doing polls in our Facebook group. I'm always asking them questions to see what they want coming up next in the calendar because I'm creating this for them, right? Like I want their feedback. And so constantly be asking them feedback, be doing surveys, being asking your ideal audience what questions they have. You want the content in your membership site to be answering the problems that they have. So every single month there's content, but it's helping them solve their problems. Now, you don't even always have to be on the hook for the content either. You could interview someone else. So maybe you're not an expert in a certain area. Like, for example, one time I brought in a lawyer who did training in my membership site because I am not a lawyer and I cannot give legal advice. But she came in and that provided value that month. And I was not on the hook to come up with a training. But that type of stuff can add value to your membership site when you interview outside experts and bring in that content to your membership site. You can also feature your members. That's content for your membership site. It doesn't have to be a Q&A with you. It can be worksheets or guides. Just remember that less is more and you do not have to overwhelm yourself or your members. The secret with a membership site is that you're solving a problem. So every month when you're creating that content, you want it to be able to help your members solve their problem and help them progress to getting to solve their problem. Help them progress through the path to the success and the result that they want. It's not about consuming content. A membership site, I will repeat that again over and over again. It's not about giving a lot of content. It's not about them consuming content. It's helping them solve problems. So maybe there's not even a content that you need to provide to help them solve their problems. Maybe it's a tool. Maybe it's a resource. Maybe it's a subscription box. Maybe it's something you mail them. Maybe it's a planner or a book. Think of ways, creative ways that you can help them solve their problem because that's what they're going to pay for you month after month if you can help them solve their problem. All right, so I hope I covered some ground here and I decreased your stress about creating content for your membership site. In next week's video, I am going to help you figure out how to grow your audience for your membership site because I know this is a common concern. How do I grow my audience so that I can launch a membership site? So we're going to cover that in next week's video of our Membership Site Secrets Masterclass. So for now, make sure you've joined us in our private pop-up group. that's going over all kinds of questions and helping you out in growing and launching your membership site. Also, we have a guide, 6 secrets to a profitable, successful membership site, that you also want to download, that has 6 more secrets that I'm sharing with you about my 5 years of running a successful membership site. So stay tuned, and I will see you for next week's video. All right, we are back. Okay, so I'm gonna do some Q&A again. I'm gonna summarize because there was so many good nuggets in that video. I don't know if you caught them all, but if you want to start a membership, there were a lot of nuggets that I'm gonna repeat to make sure that you get, because it's everything I have learned over the last 5 years of getting off the content hamster wheel, which is so important. So Bobby, real quick, shout out Bobby. The link for the free guide, the membership secrets guide, is classycareergirl.com/membership secrets. So definitely go grab that, because that will give you my 6 secrets for a successful membership. And then I love, it's not showing your face here, Karina, but she said, I feel like all I do sometimes is write blog posts. And I hear you and I feel you. So I think one of the biggest things about when it comes to creating content is the membership has really allowed me to identify what type of content I should create. Because inside my membership, I have a success path, which allows my members to go through this path and know where they're at and where they need to go next to achieve success. And because I have that, it allows me to create blog posts, because it allows me to structure my content, my free content, like on my blog and on my podcast, because I know where I'm taking people inside the membership. I have this path. And so Karina, I hope that helps you too. I know you're already inside our class membership, so you've seen our success path, and you can see how now it's really allowed me to be able to recycle content very, very easily, because I see, okay, I just did this in the membership. I'm going to take a piece of that out. I'm going to put it on the blog. Or this content inside my membership got a lot of great feedback from people. I'm going to take this part out. I'm going to put it on the podcast. So it actually helps me get out of the content hamster wheel, because I have structure to my content. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm teaching. And I talked about in the video too about that 12-month calendar. That's super important for yourself as a membership site owner, but then also for your members, so that they can see what's coming up. They know what's coming up. So that's something that we have in our membership site. We have the whole 2020 calendar for all of our members to see what are the things that are coming up next. So that helps our members, helps with retention, keeping members month after month, because there's more great stuff coming. But then it also helps you in creating the content. And something I mentioned in that video we just covered is about batching. And batching is really when you take similar types of tasks that you do and you do them together. So that could be like writing blog posts for Karina. I would recommend like taking, one time every week where you're just writing blog posts. And then other times a week, maybe you're just doing videos, or you're just doing Facebook posts and scheduling those out. So you're batching those things together, and that speeds up the time that's going to take you to do that. So when it comes to creating content, one of the things I did when I was creating new content each week in my membership site, I would plan it ahead. So I would record. So say I had like 6 videos that I needed to do, 6 like 5 to 10 minute videos. The content you deliver in your memberships does not have to be long, like 1 hour max, but even like 5 to 10 minute videos are great to do inside your membership. So what I would do, say I had like 6 10-minute videos that I need to do, instead of doing them every single month, I would carve out that time in my calendar and do 6 10-minute videos in one day, like one half day. And then I would have 6 months of content done. with that type of video content. So there are ways when you pre-plan it and pre-schedule it. And this is what I've learned from my mentor, Stu, who's going to be joining us very, very soon. Stay tuned because you will want to learn from my mentor. Everything I know is from him. And so he is the one that taught me about creating this monthly this 12-month calendar. And that has greatly decreased my stress. I've also learned a lot about launching and marketing calendars from him too. Like he has a podcast called Marketing Your Business. And so I've learned a lot about marketing, a lot about launching, and a lot of it has to do with a 12-month calendar, like really planning out your calendar. Like I know what I'm doing over the next year. Like I have a calendar that says what I'm doing in September 2020, what I'm doing in January 2020. We have an election in the United States coming up. So we need to be very careful with when we're launching what, because it's about to get crazy, right? And so that has really helped me, especially through this the COVID-19 crisis. Is like I had a calendar before the crisis happened, but you know what? I had the calendar, and I'm just keep right on going on my calendar because when these types of things happen, right? Like things shake up and things change, and it just really helps to have that steady calendar. So you just keep doing what you said you were going to do, even though, I mean, we all have life events that come up. There's, personal life things that happen. There's things with our kids that happen and our family that happens. And it just really helps you to have that 12-month calendar. So it's kind of like you're a rock, and like the things can happen and it doesn't totally throw you off when you have a 12-month content calendar for your membership and when you have a 12-month launch calendar as well. So highly recommend planning this out in advance, and just knowing what you're going to do every month. And I think this is something that Stu will be teaching in his April 23rd. You can't see because of my hair. April 23rd workshop on Thursday. So he is going to come on. He's going to tell you about his workshop that he's hosting. I think we're getting to the point, I think, where we can start telling you about his workshop because you guys have been with us for so long now. But if you go to classycareergirl.com/tribe workshop, that's the workshop I keep talking to you about. He's gonna teach you about creating a success path for your membership. And that has really helped me when it comes to creating my 12-month calendar too. So you definitely want to listen to that. Yeah, Kelly says, wow, 12 months would be awesome. How long does it take to build that though? It really doesn't take, I carve out a couple hours of my time. And my calendar changes every 90 days. You guys know I'm a planner. Every 90 days I go through and I kind of look at my launch calendar and look at what's coming up over the 90 days and see if I need to change something. So to me, it's a couple hours. And basically what it is, if you can't see, I'm a sticky note person, Post-it note person. And so what I will do is we'll put January, February, March, we'll put the whole calendar up on the wall, and then I'll put sticky notes that just kind of shows, okay, in January, I'm going to launch this. In April, I'm going to launch this. In May, I'm going to launch this. And that just really helps me kind of visualize, okay, if I have a big course launch, then I don't want to do another course launch the next month, right? So just really structuring your whole 12 months and just having a plan, and it can change, but at least you have something down, and then your team knows it too. So that has really helped on our team. People know what's coming up. Like, Laura is our social media manager. She knows what she should be posting on Instagram and the images that she needs to create and all that stuff. So it just helps your team too. Okay, but I'm excited for Stu to come because he's gonna teach you. We can ask him these questions too. Okay, so he's gonna come on here pretty soon. We have one more module. We have questions coming in. Gianna says, what do you think about using private label rights, PLR, to help create content? I am not sure if I am the expert that can answer that question. I'm not an expert at private label rights. But what I would recommend is either okay, so there's two options in content. You can create your content, or like I said in that video, you can bring other people into your membership to create content for you. Like in our membership, we have a lot of videos from outside experts and from our members who have created content within my membership. And so maybe there's something there where other people can help you with creating the content within your membership, Gianna. Oh, good. Bobby's printing the membership guide as we listen. I love it. I love it. You guys are awesome. Alexa says, will you post the live replay? I had to hop on a conference call, miss the first half. Don't miss the first half. It's too good. So definitely want to make sure you listen to every part of this workshop. Especially Stu is coming, my special guest, my mentor is coming on here soon. And you don't want to miss that either. But this will be live. So it's a Facebook Live. So wherever you're watching it right now, you'll be able to watch it again, wherever that is. So you can always go to the Classy Career Girl Facebook page, and you should be able to find it right there. You can just go to videos, and this will pop up. So yeah, it's on Facebook. We can do a lot with Facebook, which reminds me, you can start a free membership. You can start a membership site for free using Facebook and using a Facebook group. So it does not need to be expensive to do this. Good question. Adifi says, what app are you using for Facebook Live that makes you share your screen? So I'm using StreamYard today. So StreamYard allows me to go live, share it in multiple Facebook groups, and to share videos too, which is really, really cool. So I love that. Hi, Kelly. Good to see you. Okay. So we are now at the point where we are going to move on to module 3. So let me know in the comments how you guys are doing. Make sure you let me know any questions that you have that have come up as well. So we're going to talk now about building an audience for a membership site. So I'm going to share with you how to grow your audience online, some things I have learned from building a platform with millions of readers. And you're going to learn, what social media platform I'm focusing on today. Hint, hint, I think you're on it. You're watching on it. And 3 steps to take if you want to grow your audience online. So I hope you guys get a ton of value from this video. Let's dive in, and I'm going to share how to grow your audience. This is always a hot topic and a question I get asked a lot. So here we go. Hey, it's Anna Runyon, founder and CEO of Classy Career Girl, and we are back for video number 3 in our Membership Site Secrets Masterclass. In the first video, we talked about how to turn your passion into recurring revenue, and I walked you through some questions to help you uncover your passion, because career fulfillment for all women is so important here at Classy Career Girl. It's our number 1 focus. And then in video number 2, we talked about membership sites, because we believe that membership sites are a great way to create a career around your passion and what you love. And so in video number 2, I talked about how to create content for your membership site, and the number 1 secret I have for you about freeing up your time and not stressing yourself out on the content hamster wheel. And today we are in video number 3, where I'm talking to you about how to build your audience for your membership site. And I'm going to tell you about when I created my membership site, the first membership site I told you about last time, the Get Ahead Club, that failed, that I had to close, because we all fail and we all learn from it. So I'm completely coming clean that in 2014, I had my first membership site called the Get Ahead Club, and I had to close it. And I will tell you why. I was building my audience, but it was a slow build because I was not specific and I was not focused. And that membership site was very broad. The Get Ahead Club targeted women, so at least I was somewhat focused, but it didn't target what type of women. I did not have an avatar. It could have been someone who was job searching. It could have been a leader in a company. It could have been someone who wanted to start a business. And it made it really hard to grow my audience. It made it really hard to build a membership site. It made it really hard to create the content for my membership site. It made it really hard for members to stay, because they didn't know if this was really a fit for them. They didn't know where they were headed. There was no path for them to continue along and to get progress and to get a final result. So, one of the reasons I love membership sites is because it forces you to get focused on who you're here to serve and to be very specific on the result that you are taking to them through and the path that they are going. So as most of you guys know, I came back after that failure of the first membership site failure. I came back and built two other membership sites with everything I learned, and completely that one was night and day. Those ones went from 50 members to 500 members in 6 months, and we have had a lot of success with them. One of the reasons we've had so much success when we came back out and we launched the two membership sites is because they're for two different markets. They're focused on two different things. They're giving two different results at the end of their success path as they go through the membership site. And that has made all the difference in the success of our business and our membership site growth because they are focused. And so now, since we've done that, our audience has been able to grow because we are so much more clear on our messaging. We're so much more specific on who we're targeting. Now, I would not recommend starting with two membership sites. Do not do that. Do not follow my example with that because it is extremely hard to manage two membership sites. Start with one, but make it specific and make it focused. And when you do that and you start to uncover what those problems are that focused market needs, your audience is going to grow. Once you start helping them solving those problems over and over again, and then you start using social media. So let's talk about social media to grow your audience and then to grow your membership site. So social media is a lot of fun, but what I want you to know, because I know that there are so many platforms right now that you could be jumping on, right? And trust me, I've been through them all. When I started in 2010, I was on Twitter. There was one platform, it was Twitter. And then I've seen the growth and have jumped on all the other ones. So there's a lot to think about, right? There's a lot to figure out. But if you're just starting, I highly recommend that you just pick one. And it's not the coolest one out there right now. It's the one where your ideal clients are hanging out at. So I want you to look at where your ideal clients are. Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Twitter? Are they on Snapchat? Figure that out, and that will tell you what your one platform is. Do not try and be everywhere. Just pick one, figure it out, and then you can move to other platforms. So for me, I spent probably 2 years only on Pinterest, figuring out Pinterest. And that's why we have so much traffic from Pinterest, because I spent so much time figuring it out. And so I want you to do the same. I want you to hunker down. I want you to spend hours on one platform figuring it out, going all in, networking with other people on the platform, posting content, and growing your audience on that one platform. So be specific, pick one platform, and then go hunker down and consistently post on that one platform. And if you do that, your audience will grow. All right, so today I've taught you how to build your audience so that you are ready for a membership site. But now you need to know how to start a membership site, how to price your membership site, and how you should market and launch your membership site. And I have just the person to help you do that. Next week, I am going to introduce you to my mentor, Stu McLaren, and tell you all about what he has taught me about growing a successful membership site. So in the meantime, make sure you are in our private pop-up group for the Membership Site Secrets Masterclass. Feel free to ask me a question about anything that I've covered, and I will see you in there. Also, make sure that you've downloaded our free guide, 6 Secrets to a Successful Membership Site, that will walk you even deeper into the questions and the things that you need to do to build a successful membership site. Hey guys, we are back. Awesome. Okay, so we had a lot of questions come in. So we're going to tackle those questions. If you have a question, just write question in big caps, and that way I'll be able to see it because we have so many comments coming in. Pretty soon here, we're going to have our special guest. So super excited for you guys to meet my mentor, who I have learned so much about membership sites from. So stay tuned for that. Also, just just to summarize, that video had so many nuggets in it it was short, but it was sweet. So many nuggets about growing a membership and growing your audience. The first one being, you have to be specific on the result that you're providing for your audience. And so I think having a membership has really allowed me to do that, as well as when it comes to social media, making sure you start on the social media platform where your ideal clients are. It can be anywhere. You guys know Facebook is kind of my thing. We're streaming in like 4 different Facebook groups. I've got a lot of Facebook groups. I go live a lot. I take this content and I put it on my podcast, but Facebook is kind of my main thing because that's where a lot of my ideal clients are. You guys, that's where you're at. That's where you're watching this with me. And so you have to know where your ideal clients are. And that's the one place that you should start. You don't have to be everywhere. Just pick one to start with. And that has really been really helpful for me. I have a big following and get a ton of traffic from Pinterest because I spent the whole year on Pinterest, like figuring out and learning from it. And so that's really important, is just to pick the one platform for you. So let's dive in and answer some of your questions. Pam says, I am not confident enough to be on video, physically insecure to appear on video. Do we fail if we do not get to do video content? Is there a workaround on this? So the first thing I would do is I'd encourage you, getting on video for all of us is extremely hard in the beginning. The first one is hard. I may appear comfortable right now, but I've been doing this for 10 years and I'm an introvert. And so that first one, it literally felt like I was going to throw up. Like, it was so hard to do. But the good thing is that you can practice. You can turn on a video. You can practice yourself before you go Facebook Live. You can even do like a private Facebook group just with you and a friend, or you and your mom or something. And then you can just practice that way too. So practice, really, it gets easier as you practice. And so what the biggest thing is we have to get out of our heads, and we have to not worry so much about our appearance or what we're going to say or what we're going to talk about, because there are people that need you. We have problems that we need to solve. There are people, especially today, right now, there are so many people home alone right now who are lonely and need your support. And so if we don't serve people because we're scared or we're shy and we're holding back, there's people that need us. And so that is really what helps me. That's what helped me flip on the camera today, is like, I know you guys need this. I know it can change your life. And I'm going to get over the fact that, my room's a mess. I'm trying to homeschool my kids. There's a lot of stuff going on. I didn't really feel like taking a shower this morning and like putting on makeup, but you know that you have people that you need to serve. And so I think that first of all, is really important to get out of our heads and to focus on how we can help others. The second part of your question is, no, you do not fail if you do not want to do video content. You do not need to do video content. You can create your membership around what you love to do most. And so if you love to write, well, then you could create, every week in your membership, maybe you create a new ebook, or you create a new weekly plan for people, or a new handout for people, or what is it that your market needs on an ongoing basis, and you can deliver that to them. Like one of my friends, Trisha, she does meal plans. And so every week she's providing her members with meal plans, and she doesn't need to do videos. And so it's really figuring out, like, how can you serve your customers best. For me, I need to do some sort of like every week I do Ask Anna coaching calls in my membership. And so that allows my members to be able to get personalized help for what they're going through. So they're going through my videos, my content, my training curriculum, but they might have a question. And so I feel like showing up on video for them is my way of creating a relationship with them. And what you'll find out too is that once you start getting to know your members, that there's a relationship, there's a bond. What you don't see over here, we did a launch last month for our class membership, and I put a bunch of stickies with all of their names up. So this whole wall, I'll have to post a picture of it sometime. This whole wall is full of my members' names. And it creates a relationship when you get in front of people and you're visible and you say, hi, my name is Anna. And I was an anonymous blogger for 6 months. And the second that I said my name, I showed my face, I became a real person, I did a video, that's when everything took off for me. That's when my website traffic grew. That's when people started really following my blog. That's when I got speaking requests because I was able to get outside of my comfort zone and introduce myself. And so there are ways like I also have friends who have subscription boxes. So, there's people where you're sending a box to people. Obviously, you don't need to do a video if you're physically sending out a box to people. But anytime you can create a relationship, like I know the people that have those subscription boxes are just physically mailing something once a month. They're also doing video to connect with their customers and connect with their audience. So there's just so many opportunities for you to be able to connect with your audience because of social media. But there's other opportunities too. So it doesn't have to be video. So good question. Okay, awesome. So I am excited because I think we have our special guest who is joining us today. But we're moving on to our fourth module, which really is a membership site right for me? And today I'm coming clean because over the last hour now we've been going here. We've been talking about starting a membership, growing a membership. But I have a secret. Everything I know about memberships, I have learned from my mentor, Stu McLaren. So I am going to introduce him here. Hi, Stu.
Hello. Good to see you, Anna.
Thanks for my shirt today.
I know. That's lovely. Look at you, April 23rd. I love it.
Something's happening on April 23rd. I heard something.
I've heard the same thing. Super
excited for it. So we're going to tell you guys all about what's coming up. But what I really want to tell you guys is that I want you guys to meet my mentor. I want you guys to meet Stu. Stu has impacted our business so much. He is on April 23rd. He is going to be creating a workshop. And I have taken, I don't know if remember this, Stu, but I was part of the original in 2016.
The OG. You're an OG.
Yeah, I'm an OG. So this is going to be number 5 of taking your workshop. And I'm super excited because I'm gonna do a discussion group. I'm gonna get my crew together and we're gonna all watch the workshop with you.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I think, you know what, like, it's a credit to you because the thing is, Anna, like you had a membership site when you first came through that very first workshop. But I think this is a credit to you where, it's just because you got it doesn't mean that there's not room for improvement. And I know for you, like this has become almost like an annual, adventure, if you will, where you dive deep and work on the business. And I think this is an awesome opportunity right now to work on the business and really find out how, if you don't have a recurring revenue stream, how to add it. But in your case, like how to continue to improve that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a restart, like spring. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen this year? And I learned so much. I mean, it's almost like it's new every year because my business changes so much, has changed so much this last year. Yeah. It's your fault. No, I'm just kidding. So we have a lot of people here. They're all saying hi. Someone said hi, beautiful, but I don't know if that was to you.
Probably not to me. No.
So how does everyone know if a membership site is right for them?
Well, listen, it doesn't matter what type of business you have, whether it be a product-based business, a service-based business, knowledge-based business, or community-based business. There's a way for a membership site to fit into that mix. And it's really important to understand as to why so many businesses are making this transition. We see big businesses, and I'm sure here, actually in the comments right now, what I'd encourage everybody to do is just think about the types of memberships that you belong to. What are the kinds of things that you pay for on a monthly subscription base? And the reason I'm sharing this is because it'll start to open your mind. So go ahead in the comments right now, just list some things. I'll share a couple, to kickstart things and kind of plant some ideas. But in our house, we belong to a variety of different memberships. One is the obvious, and I'm sure most of us do, and that's Netflix, right? Every single month, we spend and send Netflix some money, and we get access to a whole bunch of videos and movies and shows and so forth, right? So that's one form of subscription. But I'll give you a couple of other ideas. Like, Anna, I don't know if I shared this story with you, but when we moved into this house, we were about a couple months living here, and Amy and I are lying in bed, and all of a sudden we hear like, tick, 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 tick. And she's like, what is that? And I'm like, what is what? And then it went again. Tick, 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 tick. She's like, that. She's like, oh my gosh, there's mice. She's like, we can't live here. And I said, what do you mean we can't live here? We just moved here. She said, I can't live in a house where there's mice. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So I called an exterminator, and the exterminator came and he said, look, yeah, you live in a pretty wooded area. Like, mice is a common thing. He's like, I'm going to set some traps. We'll get rid of the mice for you. He's like, however, he said, would you like us to come back on a regular basis to refuel the traps and to make sure that you never have a mice problem ever again? And I was like, yes, please. And hello, that is a membership. That is a service-based membership. And it's one that we absolutely would love. Oh, speaking of hashtag working from home, like, here comes Marla Mack. Marla, you want to come in and quickly say hello? This is my daughter,
Hi.
everybody.
Hi, Marla.
Oh, you got chocolate on your nose.
Hey there. Hi, Marla. Hi.
How are you? Yeah, we have a membership. Do you want to tell everybody about the membership that we have with the Cheeky Monkey Molly books?
No.
Oh, you don't want to tell them? Okay, never mind. Just want to tell you. But we have a membership.
Yes, you do.
Yes, with the book membership. But there are all kinds of different types of memberships. And so I'm seeing here. Let's see here. I see Beachbody on Demand, Amazon. Yeah, Amazon's absolutely. That's one of their biggest drivers of the Disney Plus. Did you know that?
Plus.
Disney Plus was a $70 million a month launch? Like, oh my goodness, right? And this is really just companies that are taking advantage of the fact that, hey, this membership model works. We even see this last year, Burger King launched a new membership, and people are like, wait a minute, what kind of a membership is Burger King launching? Well, they have a $5 a month membership where you can get unlimited coffee. Now, why would they do that? Well, yes, not only are they generating revenue from the $5 a month and all the subscribers, but more importantly, that membership brings people back into their restaurant. Well, I don't know if we can call it a restaurant, but it brings them back into the restaurant. And of course, when they're there, they're much more likely going to spend more money. So there's so many different examples. I love seeing the examples here. Scribd, Spotify, actually said Cheeky Monkey Molly, which is awesome. Yes, that's our membership that the kids write the books for. Yeah, Spotify, Audible is another great example. So lots of great examples, right? And so if you got a product-based business, there's some great examples too. Like the most popular one, this is more for the fellas, but this is the Dollar Shave Club, where they send razors. So again, here's a company, it was a scrappy startup. Instead of selling, razors one time and hoping that people would come back and buy more, they sold it on subscription, where now they knew for certain that people would. In fact, that company grew from zero to selling for more than $1 billion 4.5 years later. And so I'm sharing this because big companies are doing it, but there are so many other companies, whether it be product-based, service-based, knowledge-based, or community-based. And we can share tons of examples.
Yeah.
You know me, I got tons. So, but bottom line is that now is the time, because it creates more stability in a business. And that's the most important thing. Stability is great during the best of times, but it shows up in a huge way when we need it most.
Yeah, and speaking of stability too, because I want to talk about what what everyone's kind of going through right now too, and like our uncertain times, and some of our market or some of our listeners have lost their jobs or they've had to change their business. And so I heard you say the other day, you think that every business should have some sort of recurring revenue stream.
Yes.
And I'd love to hear more about that and how. And why now? Like, why during this COVID-19 crisis that we're all navigating? How can this help a business today?
Well, first off, my heart goes out to anybody and everybody who has been impacted by this, and I'm on the front lines of this. A couple examples, one of my dear friends who was a groomsman in my wedding, Mike, he owns a couple restaurants. Sales have just completely dried up. One of my wife's dear friends, Lindsay, her and her husband own a brewery. Sales have dried right up. We have another friend, Natalie, who her and her husband own multiple coffee shops. Sales have dried right up. So I got friends who are on the front lines of this. And also one of our dear friends, Carrie, she's an ER nurse, and she's actually living in a trailer in her driveway to keep separated from her husband and her 2 kids. So I understand the impact that this is having on so many people. And I just want to say, like, I am not at all, minimizing what is happening here because it's very serious. With that said, there's another side to the story here, and that is what is happening in the online space. And 2 weeks ago, there was a research study released out of the UK, and they surveyed 2,000 people that had been quarantined, and they asked them what are they hoping to use this time for. And the amazing part is that 80% of the people surveyed said that they want to come out of this seeing the silver lining. So there's a positive sentiment. But 69% of them said that they're looking to use this time to learn a new skill, whether it be learning how to paint, whether it be learning how to, quilt or code or garden or learn a new language or instrument. And then another 57% said that they're looking forward to using this time to pursue those passions and things that they've wanted to do but didn't have time for. All of that bodes tremendously well for those of us who are teaching online. And we're seeing it happening in our communities. Like every single day, there are stories in our community of people who are thriving right now. Like last night, I just got a message from Magdalena over in Poland. She just did the very first launch of her membership, welcomed 301 new members during this time. Or 2 weeks ago, there was Emily Jeffords who did the launch of for her membership, which helps artists. She ended up welcoming 367 new members with 2 emails, 2 Instagram lives, and a few social posts. Or there's a story of Tamra Bennett 2 weeks ago, just closed her launch, 420 new members. She helps people paint decorative door hangers. Or Maxie, I love Maxie because Maxie's in she released a membership last October, and she's this sweet lady who has a quilting membership. And she was super reluctant to launch right now. She's like, I don't know, like if people are going to respond, if people will buy, like, is this the right time to sell? And I said, Maxie, now is the best time. There's never been a time when there's more people online, spending more time online than right now. And so she went for it, ended up welcoming 107 new members into her quilting membership. So I'm sharing this with you because every single day, we see what is happening in our tribe community, where these communities are thriving. And there's a variety of reasons, and I'm certainly happy to unpack it for you if you want, Anna.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And the stories too, like I wanted you to share some stories of like women who are using memberships for career fulfillment, who are loving their careers and their jobs too, because that's kind of like our mission here too.
Totally. Well, listen, at the end of the day, like this is a time for all of us to, open ourselves up to new possibilities. And I'm raising my hand right here because, even in our, my wife and I, we run a nonprofit, as you know, and we, during this whole COVID thing, we had a huge vulnerability exposed for us as a nonprofit, which was 95% of the fundraising that we do for our nonprofit comes from live events. Well, guess what? There's no more live events. So that's just completely dried up. And so what we've had to do is we've had to pivot. We've had to innovate as well. And we're doing that. And guess what we're launching?
A membership.
Yeah, totally. But that's going to transform our nonprofit. But here's a couple of other examples. Like last night, there was a story that came in from Beth. So Beth owns a pet grooming brick and mortar business. And so again, sales have completely dried up, but she's not letting that stop her. She got innovative and she thought about her customers and what's the biggest problem that they have. Well, if they've got dogs like ours, we have a golden doodle and she is getting ridiculously shaggy right now. And so everybody's kind of in the panic of like, whenever they can do the grooming, like I want to be in first. So she thought about this. And so she did a campaign. And so she launched a membership, which basically granted anybody who joins the membership priority access to get their dog groomed first the moment that doors are open. So that's number one. Number two is she knows that most of her customers, they come back on a regular cycle, whether it be every 4 weeks, 6 weeks, etc. And so she created 2 levels of membership, the basic grooming package and the deluxe grooming package, which gets like extra teeth, cleaning and nails clipping and all that kind of stuff. And so bottom line, she sent this campaign and she just posted a message last night, ended up generating over $30-something thousand in this campaign, which is going to translate into over $360,000, throughout the course of the year. So I'm sharing this with you because this is not a time to pause. This is a time to pivot. This is not a time to hide. This is a time to show up in the best possible way. Another great example is Casey Hope. Casey Hope had a brick and mortar art studio, and now she has an online calligraphy membership that's geared toward adults. But she also saw the fact that there are millions of parents at home right now not knowing what to do with their kids. We know we don't want them on the TV. We know we don't want them on the iPads, but what do we do during the day? And so here's what she did. She saw this And she realized and talked with her team that, hang on a minute, like every single day, we normally are teaching kids art in our art studio. Why don't we spin up a membership that provides art lessons for kids? And so she did. And within a 1-week period, had her biggest launch ever, welcomed over 300 members into this brand new membership. And so there's so many stories to share of people that are thriving right now. There's Leland, who is in the weight loss space, just finished her launch, welcomed 187 new members. And so I'm sharing this because it doesn't matter whether it's in the art space, whether it's in the guitar space, whether it's in the weight loss space, whether it's in pet grooming, there is a way to be able to think creatively and innovatively. Because right now, number one is that there are more people online spending more time online, and they want to use this time to be productive. Number two is that right now we can't get community where we normally get community. We can't get it at the church or at schools or sports teams or at the pubs or clubs or wherever we typically go to get it. Even in the moms groups, right? Like we can't get it where we normally get it. And so this is why memberships are perfectly suited to fill that void. And then third, there's new problems that have emerged because of this. We talk about the parents, and not only is Casey Hope fulfilling that need, but our dear friend Anna Stu, she has a membership site that provides lesson plans for teachers. And she's like, well, hang on a minute. I can make a pivot and create another membership that provides those lesson plans for teachers.
Yeah, we were using those for sure.
Right?
Yes.
Exactly. And so like, this is the opportunity that's right now. I think about like all the physical gyms that have had to shut down and the millions of people that are used to going there for their fitness. But does that stop their desire to continue to work out? No. All it does is it's changed the situation. So our trainer, Dave, is a perfect example. He realized that people still want to work out, but they don't have access to all the equipment and they got to do it at home. So he's been creating and releasing these body weight workouts that people can do at home. So he's recognized the new problem and created a new solution. So I'm sharing this with you because now is the time to experiment and to try things that maybe we would have put on the back burner. All this has done is just created more urgency for us to, try it and experiment, just like we are with our nonprofit, just like Casey is with her art studio, just like Beth is with her grooming salon.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I have all these ideas of every time I see a business that's like closed, I'm like recurring revenue, like membership, like all these ideas are coming out of me.
Yeah,
you must be the same way too with this.
Absolutely. Like here's another story I heard the other day, which was this was a physical spin cycle studio, like where you go in and it's like the spin cycles. Well, they realized like during this whole thing that these bikes are just sitting there. And again, it doesn't mean that people don't want to stop from riding. So they started renting out their bikes to their members. So again, they're finding creative and innovative ways to, instead of hitting pause, to pivot and to create a recurring membership from it.
So we have a question come in, and I know that this is a question that a lot of people have. Can this be done with a small list and budget for advertising? Okay,
Sharon, buckle your seatbelt, girl, because I may go on fire here. But listen, yes. Absolutely, yes. And there's a ton of examples of this because you don't need tens of thousands or thousands. Just a few hundred is all it takes. A perfect example. There's a woman, her name's Brandy Moles. She's coming up on her 1-year anniversary of her membership. Now, 1 year ago, she had an audience of less than 400 people. Like not tens of thousands, not thousands, like just 400 people. And this was across like her email list, social, etc. And she is a Facebook ads strategist. So her business, she has a service-based business where she manages clients' Facebook ads. But she's done it in a very innovative way that allows her to be able to scale, take on more clients without it costing and requiring more of her time. So she was really passionate about sharing this with other service providers, whether it be Facebook ad managers, whether it be social media managers, VAs, etc. But she didn't have a big audience, tiny audience, less than 400. But last year at this time, she used our founding member launch strategy, and I'm happy to share it with everybody. And she ended up welcoming 23 members. Now, 23 members was the beginning. And fast forward 1 year, that 23 members has blossomed into more than 250 paying members. It also spawned off a course and a mastermind. And this business has blown up in a 1-year period. And it all started with 23 founding members. And it's blown up so much that in the last year, she's been able to bring her husband home. And her mission is now to, instead of having 2 parents that are working outside of the home, is to enable women and their families to have 2 parents working in the home. And I just love the mission behind it. But again, Didn't start with a huge audience of tens of thousands and thousands, tiny audience of about 400 people. So just imagine if she had waited and waited and waited until she had a bigger audience. No. Get going, because it creates momentum. And there's lots of other great examples like Anna Stu.
Again, I was just going to say her.
Yeah, she had an audience of 326 people, and she was inspired about this founding member launch. And she's like, you know what? Dag nabbit, I'm going to go for it. So her audience was 326 people, and they were infertility practitioners. And so she went for it. She did the founding member launch and invited people to essentially send her a direct message if they wanted to do. So here's the basic outline. The basic outline of a founding member launch is you share, number one, your idea. The idea is, she said, I envision a community of us where, and this is where it's coming from. It's coming from the fact that we're getting all these kinds of requests and questions. Number two is you share the vision. This is where I see the idea going. It's not created yet. It hasn't formed yet. We haven't worked on it yet, but this is where I see it going and what I see it becoming. Step number three is you invite them. And so invite them to become a founding member, upon which you'll grant them the lowest possible price. So you'll grandfather them at the lowest possible price. So when you do launch it to the general public, their price will remain the same. And then number four is that you have a call to action. Now, this is my secret to this. I don't like saying, if you want to join me as a founding member, just put yes in the comments below. Because what if nobody says yes? I mean, that's embarrassing. So when I do this, I protect my ego and I say, send me a direct message. Because then if one person or 1,000 people send me direct messages, nobody knows. And so Anna did this as well. And so then she kept it super simple. She didn't have fancy launch videos. She didn't have a fancy webinar or sales page. She didn't even have a checkout page. She just sent people a PayPal link. And within the first 24 hours, she generated $5,024 from that founding member launch. And that created a ton of momentum for her. Again, she didn't start with tens of thousands or thousands, tiny audience of 326 people. Wendy Batten, another great example. Her niche is she helps paint store retailers, like brick and mortar stores that sell paint. She didn't have a big audience, 354. She ended up welcoming 52 members from her founding member launch, generating $2,800 a month in month number one. She's now blossomed into hundreds of members, but that all started with that founding member launch. And I'm sharing this with you because we see this happening very quickly. I literally got an Instagram message just the other night from a gentleman. His name was Caesar, and he typically provides consulting for big corporations. And well, right now, all the big corporations have really shrunk up the budget and are not hiring outside consultants. But he had this tiny Facebook group that he had started of about 800 people. And he had heard me talk about this founding member launch. And he's like, what the heck? I'm going to go for it. So he did a founding member launch and he sent me a message. He's like, dude, I can't believe this. He's already welcomed over 50 new paying members into his membership. And so you don't need big audiences. A smaller audience, you can absolutely do this with. And in fact, I'm going to share with you, I actually believe you have an advantage with a smaller audience because you have the ability to create a more intimate relationship with them and you'll see much higher conversions. So now is the time to get going because you'll enable yourself to create a ton of momentum, just like Brandy did, starting with 23 members, which is now this amazing business.
You have to start somewhere. I mean, it's all a matter of just starting, and then you kind of build on the next one and the next one and the next one too.
Totally.
A good question from Stephanie. She said, I haven't had success during these times with my consulting. Why would a membership be more successful?
Well, Stephanie, for the same reason I just shared with Caesar's story, in that it enables you to reach a lot more people, but for them in a lot more affordable way. Typically consulting contracts are much higher a dollar amount. So it's a more of a commitment on their part. But the beauty about a membership is that it gives you leverage so that you're not dependent on, a handful of clients. And if any of those handful of clients pull away, guess what happens? Like that creates tremendous financial pressure for the business. With a membership, though, you are able to, disperse that, dependency, if you will, and scale it where you can help and serve a lot more people. And so it's a best of both worlds. It's more financially feasible for them, and it's more gives you more flexibility and scalability in your business and enabling you to reach a lot more people.
Love that. So Sharon must have buckled up because she said, this is so good. So good job. And then awesome. Pam says, now I am fired up to do my own membership site group. Thanks, Anna and Stu.
Yes,
Yay,
Pam.
We're cheering
That's awesome.
you on. Candace says, if I were to do a membership for my real estate business, what would you suggest?
Well, Candace, there's a great example of Erin Chung. She has a membership that absolutely blew up. And I say that in the, blowing up in terms of the best possible way. It went from 0 to over a 7-figure a year membership. And she was focused on helping other real estate agents. Now, what she did was she made their lives so much easier. It reminds me of another example of a membership over in Australia. This was from Andrew. Now, what he did was he provided Facebook ad templates for these real estate agents. And so it made their life so much easier. So when you're thinking about a membership site, let me give you 3 quick tips. Number 1 is I like to look for an ongoing problem that people may have. So for example, when we're working from home, if any of you have dogs, we do, and I'm surprised you haven't heard the dog yet, but if you have a dog, that's, barking all the time, well, right now that's challenging because we're live virtually working from home, right? And so if you have a dog that's out of control, that's not a problem that's just immediately going to be solved. That is a perfect scenario for a membership where you're making progress against that problem. Weight loss is another great example of that. As I described, Leland, she just finished her membership launch with welcoming 187 new members during this time. So an ongoing problem is a great way to start. Second way to start is when you're teaching a new skill. So people don't go from not knowing how to play the guitar to becoming the next Eric Clapton like that. We don't go from not knowing how to paint to becoming the next Picasso like that. We don't go from not having a business to having a thriving, successful business like that. That's a journey. And it takes time. And so that, again, is a perfect scenario when people are learning a new skill to be with them during that journey to help them make progress as they progress through that skill. And the third way that I typically look for a membership site is when you can provide something in a more convenient way. So those examples that I was sharing of Aaron and Andrew who serve real estate agents, what they're doing is they're making those real estate agents' lives so much easier. They're removing the thinking. So the real estate agent doesn't have to think about what they and how they are going to advertise on Facebook. Andrew is taking care of that. They don't have to worry about what their social media is going to say or do. Aaron is helping them take care of that. And so the bottom line is that when you make people's lives easier, they're willing to pay for it on an ongoing basis. So that's how I think, when you're thinking about the real estate agents, think about how you can either solve an ongoing problem, teach them a new skill, or make things more convenient for them.
I love that. And I know that you have to go here pretty soon, but I have one last question. I'm going to stick around, so keep your questions coming in because I can keep answering them, even though Stu has to go to his next appointment. But my last question is, how excited are you for April 23rd?
Oh, listen, Anna, I have never been more excited than right now.
April 23rd.
April 23rd. April 23rd. And the reason is because over the last couple of weeks, I've received some messages that have really, touched my heart. I received a message from Casey Hope, who we talked about earlier. She sent me a message privately and she just said, Stu, I have never been more grateful for what it is that you teach and what you've taught us in terms of the membership. She said, we had to make the tough decision to close our art studio. And before, I would have been full of fear right now. How am I going to pay my employees? How am I going to pay myself? Can we even keep this business going when this is all done? She said, but I don't have any of that fear anymore because of the online membership. And I heard stories from, whether it be Casey or Sarah Williams saying the same thing, or Mary Claire Fredette with her massage studio. But because she's got an online membership, it's helping bridge the gap. Or Tracy Shear, whose husband's a chiropractor. And they have a chiropractic business. But thank goodness, Tracy launched her membership, which helps fitness professionals that specifically help women with pelvic problems after pregnancy. Talk about a super niche. But in the last year, she's welcomed more than 800 members into that membership. And the amazing part is, she was telling me the other night, I couldn't believe this. Of the 800 members in the last year, she's only lost 8. 8. And so I'm sharing this because I am passionate about this because I'm seeing how the membership is creating stability for so many business owners, not only in the best of times, but when we need it most, which is right now. And so this is why I'm passionate, because I believe every single business owner can and should have recurring revenue in their business with a membership. And we want to show you how. No matter if you have a product-based business, service-based business, knowledge-based business, or community-based business, we're going to show you how starting April 23rd. I know Anna will hook you up with the link, but during the first live training, we're going to break this down even more to help you identify not only whether a membership is a good fit for your market, but specifically what type of membership, because there are many different types. And you want a type that's not only going to serve your people, but is going to be easy for you to manage. So we'll talk about that. In the second live training, I'm going to talk about what do you actually provide in a membership? Because I will tell you, this is where a lot of people mess things up. They provide too much, they overwhelm their people, and their people leave. And so that's good news, because what that means is less is more.
Oh, it froze on him. Are you there, Stu? Okay, so I'm not hearing him. Let me know if you guys can hear him. We have pinned the link to sign up for the workshop that's going to be on Thursday. And I think it just froze on him. He must have been having some internet issues. So make sure that you click the link that we've pinned, because that's going to direct you to the workshop sign up. Mine keeps freezing also. Okay. So you guys have written in, oh, there you are. You're back.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I lost my connection there for a minute. But what I was saying is that, in the second live training, we're going to share content, like what do you actually provide? And in the third training, we're going to zoom up. We're going to talk about the 5 key areas of a membership. That is your foundation strategy, your content strategy, marketing strategy, retention strategy, and growth strategy. And we're going to give everybody this unbelievable mind map. In fact, we've had people that have launched memberships on the back of this one PDF mind map. Thembi, who is over in Africa, she launched her membership off the back of this, serving VAs around the world. This is just the free PDF that we're going to give. So come and join us. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you so much. So much energy from Stu. We can't wait for Thursday. So we will see you there. Thank you for joining us, Stu.
Thanks, Anna. I appreciate you. Take care.
Thank you.
See you, gang.
Bye. Awesome, guys. That was so much fun. I am so thrilled that you guys got to meet Stu, because he has changed so much about my business and my life just from taking this workshop. So the link should be linked. Let me I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to say it too. I just have to look it up here. If someone on my team is listening, can you post it again in the comments? I just want to make sure I say it correctly. Oh, here it is. Okay. So it's http bit.ly. Sorry, I don't know if you need the http. Just put this in bit.ly/workshop tribe. And we had a different link. You can also try classycareergirl.com/tribe workshop. Unfortunately, that wasn't working when we link it on Facebook. But if you're just listening, you can go to classycareergirl.com/tribe workshop. And then if you're on Facebook and you need if you need the link, it's the bit.ly link. But if you guys have any questions, we'll be in the comments later. And you can always send me a direct message, or you can email our team at support@classycareergirl.com. You just want to make sure that you are all set for Thursday, because that's where he's going to deliver all of the blueprint that he was going to talk about. He's going to go over how to create a success path. He's going to answer so many more questions. I see all your questions coming in. And basically, it's going to give you a really good overview of how to grow a membership site. So we had a couple more questions come in. That's why I didn't want to sign off with Stu, because I wanted to make sure you guys get your questions answered. Sharon says, any tips for pushing through the overwhelm? I mean, for me, it's really just about making baby steps. It's really about creating that 90-day plan. You guys know I'm a 90-day planner, creating that 90-day planner, breaking it down as far as what you need to do when, and just making forward action every single day. Even if it's just like 15 minutes a day, just keep making steps forward, and then get a mentor, get someone who knows how to do this already. And that's what I did. I took Stu's free training, and then I take his course every single year, his tribe course, which he's going to be opening after the workshop is over with. And basically, I mean, one of the things that I'm doing is to decrease your overwhelm, Sharon, because I know that it can be overwhelming to create a membership, but to decrease your overwhelm, I'm creating a discussion group in our Classy Career Girl network about his videos. So what I want to do is I want you guys to watch the videos or his live trainings. His first one is going to be on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern is when his first live training is going to be. And watch the video. I'm going to be in the comments. I will be taking this workshop as well. I learn something every single time. It changes my business. And so I'm going to be in the comments. So we'll take the workshop together, and then we'll go into the Classy Career Girl Network, and we're going to talk about the video. We're going to, ask me your questions. We're going to support each other, get ideas. Like, you can do a poll, you can do, ask a question in the Classy Career Girl Network Facebook group. And I'll put up a discussion post so that we can discuss each of the videos of the workshop more. And we can go a little deeper and answer some of these questions that are specific to you. Like, Candace, that was a great question about a real estate industry. And that's what I want to do. I want to help you with your specific question. So yeah, joining us, and he'll lay out the plan. He lays out, his course really lays out exactly what you need to do step by step. Kirthana says, how do you make them sign up for the membership? You don't make them. They want to sign up for your membership because you're solving their problem and you're helping them. And I think it's a change of your mindset, right? Like you're starting your business to help and to serve, and people want that. They need that. They need your help and support. And so we're going to help you create that brand, create your content, create your audience, so that you're solving their problems and they just want more from you. That's what it is. I create a lot of free content, and people join my membership because they just want more. It's just not enough. And my membership has it very streamlined and very structured. And so you can join and go through it step by step. Whereas all my free stuff, my podcast, one week it could be about time management, and the next week it might be about business plans. And your free content, it's hard. It's not structured, right? It's not a training program. But your paid content inside your membership, that's where you can really go deeper and support and help your customers and your clients on a more personalized basis. So how do you show value before they sign up? For me, it's creating consistent content at least weekly, although Laura on my team wants me to do it twice a week, doing a blog post, doing a podcast, doing Facebook Lives like this. You guys have probably seen I've increased how many times I'm on Facebook Live, because you guys, I know that there's a lot more people working from home right now. And I want to support you. There's a lot more people who are trying to figure out their career and their business right now, and I want to support you. So it's increasing that. It's increasing all of your free content and answering people's questions. That's why I'm staying on here, right? And that's why Stu spent his time joining me today, even though he's extremely busy preparing for his workshop. But he joined me to answer your questions. And so it starts with that. It just starts with answering people's questions and supporting them and helping them on the free side. A great example is Stu with his Tribe course in 2016. I took his free workshop, which is what we're all signed up for now, right? You guys all signed up? All good? I took his free workshop, and because I got so much value from his free workshop, I paid for his course and I joined his course because of the free was so good. So that's what you want to create too, Kirthana. You want to create such a great free content experience consistently for your ideal clients that they start to know, like, and trust you. So when it comes time for your paid offer, whether it's a course or a membership or an ebook or whatever you're selling, they're like, I need that. I want to go deeper with Kirthana because she has really helped me just in her free stuff. So that's what I do. That's how I support and help people consistently. So at least once a week, you're showing up and you're serving people. And then as far as like signing up for the webinar, you could do the founders launch like Stu talked about, or you could do a webinar. Getting people on your email list is always a good idea. A Facebook group is always a good idea. Going live is always a good idea. So there's a lot of different opportunities for you, Kirthana. Good question. Can you offer any ideas for beauty business? Felicia says, I currently have lash memberships available, but I want to modify them to better serve my clients' needs and provide as much value as possible when I can open my doors again. So Felicia, have you ever thought of doing any sort of training around lash? So I'm a perfect example. I'm a newbie, don't necessarily know much about putting on lashes, would kind of be scared to do it, but maybe there's some sort of beauty membership that you could create on a monthly basis where they got training from you and they got to meet you and there's some value. Like right now, what are your customers struggling with now that we're home or on quarantine? Like, what are they struggling with, and how can you solve their problem on a monthly basis virtually, not in person? That's what I would start thinking about. It could be shipping them. It could be, I mean, maybe you're still mailing your lash product to your ideal clients. That can be a membership. Like every month they show up at my doorstep, and that's a membership. And then maybe you're providing some sort of training or a video on a monthly basis too, that's supporting them and helping them too. So it comes back to figuring out what their problems are. But there's so many opportunities. This is what I was telling Stu about too, is with this whole the COVID-19 and the business is shutting down. Like my brain is just exploding with ideas, and I want to help you guys create this recurring revenue stream in your business, because it has literally changed my life. Like I know how much money is coming in every month, and I don't have to stress and I don't have to worry. And that is the value of having this recurring revenue is you don't have to be on this launch all the time. You can launch, but you also, if you do it right and you learn the steps Stu teaches about creating content that your customers love and your members love, and creating that connection, building that relationship, people are going to want to stay. They're not going to want to leave. And that's when you build up your retention. You have those people, they're paying you month after month. And that's when life gets really good and your career gets really fun, and you can do fun things. Like the planners we just launched last week. Like that's a passion project for me. Like I get to do passion projects, which those planners, I mean, they're not the money maker in our business. Like I'm not making much money off planners. Like I probably couldn't just have a planner business and live just off that. I really could not. But I can do those things, passion projects that serve my audience more, because I have the main recurring revenue stream coming in. And that's one thing I learned in Stu's workshop when I took it for the first time in 2016, is this recurring revenue stream is really built so that it pays for your expenses. Like, can you imagine having a business that pays all the bottom line expenses? And so you don't have to worry about how are you going to pay your bills. The recurring revenue stream like pays for that, right? And then you can come out with a course, and that's just a bonus, right? Because you don't need that to pay your bills, because your recurring revenue stream covers your bills. That when I learned that, I was like, yes, membership sites, recurring revenue. I need to set this up. I need to have this in my business. So I could not be more of a fan of recurring revenue. So someone said, is this live now? This is live. The replay will be up. I encourage you not to miss any of it. You'll want to go back. Now we're almost at the 2-hour mark, but you'll want to listen to it. You really, really will, because there's just so much value. There's so many nuggets, especially the Stu part, right? I know you guys loved that. Okay, so Josie signed up. Ashley is signed up. Ooh, Ashley, I would love this for you. Pam is signed up. Awesome. It's very, very cool. Kirthana says that was helpful. So glad. Pam, closing it out. She has signed up for April 23rd. Okay, so I hope you guys are all signed up. Oh, I missed a question. Ashley says, what if you can't make the live? Will there be short-term replays available? So on Thursday, April 23rd at 3 p.m. Eastern, that's when his live workshop is going to be held. And you will be able to watch the replay, because the replay will be up. We'll be encouraging you to watch the replay. If you didn't make it live in the Classy Career Girl Network discussion group, we're gonna keep encouraging you to watch the recording. So yeah, the recording will be made available. You'll want to make sure you watch video 1 before video 2 is released. So I think Monday is when he is going to do his second live workshop about the whole success path. But you want to make sure that you watch Thursdays before Monday hits. So definitely. Mariam is signed up. Awesome. Candace says, I will be signed up. Christina is signed up. So cool. I know, right? Like the replays from London. Yeah, they'll definitely make sure, but that's why you want to be signed up, so you get emails when those replays are available. Stephanie says, how do we market this if we don't have any content yet? Do we create some content up front, or do live trainings with the members at first and save those. You could do it either way. I know Stu recommends having 3 months of content for people once they get into your membership. So when they join your membership, there's like something that they can do. But I know like Anna Stu, he mentioned her, she launched at a convention with a baby on her lap, like with her phone, basically. She did not have content already. But what he talked about with that founders member launch is that you're setting that vision. You're telling them this is where you're going. And I'd love to have you join me so that we can do this together. And you're selling the vision. You're not selling the content. You're selling the vision and how you're going to help and support them. So I would recommend having some content when they join. And then you can easily do live trainings. You can put those live trainings on your calendar. Like once a month, we have live trainings in our membership. And so that's just on the calendar so they can see at this time and date, this is coming and here's the topic. And that helps with retention too, because people get excited for what's coming up. So I would do a little bit of both. I would have, some training, some videos just on the membership that they can go through in their own time. And then to start with, and then I would also have your calendar all set up so that they know over the next 3 months, these are the times and dates that you're going to do more specific training. And you can always, when they join, do a survey too. So you can make sure that you give them great training. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to go soon because in my membership, I have a coaching call in 15 minutes. So it's like kind of perfect. I'm moving from here's why you should start a membership to actually my content delivery in my membership in 15 minutes. So some of you guys are members and I will be seeing you there. Mariam says, how can I start with a big number of founding members for my website? So first of all, just to remember, it's great to have a big number, but any number is great because it builds on top of each other. So if you get 10 members in the beginning, well, then the next launch, you get 10 more members and like it just keeps building. So that's something that has helped me. Like Stu is great. I mean, people are getting huge results, but it's baby steps. It's just taking it, start moving forward, and it builds and it creates that recurring revenue more and more and more every single month. But I would go back to Stu's training if you missed that, Mariam, because so that was about at the halfway mark of this training. And also sign up for his upcoming training because he's going to talk about that. He talked about the founding members launch, and that's what you would want to do. Okay. I will see you guys. A lot of you guys, I will see you at Ask Anna coaching call in our class membership. For the rest of you guys, I will see you on Thursday for Stu's training at 3 p.m. Eastern live. I'll be in the comments and I can't wait to see you guys there. Okay. Have a good day. Thank you everyone for being here. You guys are awesome. HG, I see your question. Can you ask? Let's talk about that in our membership coaching call. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for being here.